Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about some tips for non-traditional pre-med students to consider. So if you guys are curious what a non-traditional pre-med student is, a non-traditional pre-med student would be someone who is usually older. The average age, I think they said in this article that I was reading the other day for applications to medical school are like 24 to 25. So obviously I fit into the category of a non-traditional pre-med student, being that I am a first-year pre-med student and I am 33. I will be turning 34 in the next month of May of 2022. And yeah, so actually a month from tomorrow, I will be 34. So you could definitely call me a non-traditional pre-med student, but it may be someone who has had a different career other than medicine. And usually those people that have had other careers besides medicine are also older students typically. So the first tip that I have is to make sure that your science classes are up to date. And usually what they say is that they want all of your science prerequisites and courses within the last 5 to 7 years. So you want to make sure that your science classes are up to date because they definitely look at your science GPA when they are considering admission into medical school or PA school. So what my pre-med advisor was saying is that usually what medical schools will do is they will look at your overall GPA, which would be your cumulative GPA. So that includes like your English, your psychology, all of those things. But then they also have a science GPA that is completely separate from your cumulative GPA. So your science GPA would only take into account those science classes. So like chemistry, biology, organic chemistry, all of those things, that would be within your science GPA. So your cumulative GPA is over here, but they definitely take into consideration your science GPA separate from your overall GPA. So just make sure that you're keeping your sciences up to date. And if it's been a while since you've been in school, I have noticed that a lot of people recommend doing some sort of post-bac program or simply taking prerequisite classes over again if it's been outside of that 5 to 7 years that they recommend for your science classes. So the next tip would be to get the best score that you can on the MCAT. And a lot of other articles that I have read for non-traditional pre-med students is that, you know, even if you have had like a gap in between your education, if you're an older student, making sure that you do score well on the MCAT helps these admissions people, whatever you want to call them, admissions reps for medical schools. Seeing that you can do well on the MCAT lets them know that you are still able to do rigorous study, because preparing for the MCAT is nothing to be taken lightly. You should definitely spend a lot of time studying so that you can do the best possible on the MCAT. The number 3 tip would be to use your non-traditional background as a strength. So whether you have had a career or not prior to trying to get into medical school, what you are doing with your time, it helps when you let them know that you're well-rounded, maybe, you know, working in a different setting other than medicine. Definitely be prepared to explain why you are choosing to try to get into the medical field now. Like, be prepared to answer that either in your interview or as your admission essay, or just both, because I am sure that people will be very curious as to see like what the motive, that's the word I was trying to think of, what the motive is for you to switch careers. Like, say you were working as a journalist and all of a sudden you want to go to medical school. There's definitely things that you want to share about your motives for trying to become someone in the medical field when you've been doing journalism. You know, you're definitely more well-rounded as a student that is non-traditional usually. Make sure that you are pointing out your strengths because that helps you stand out. Make sure that you are also highlighting those things that make your application unique to someone else's. For example, if you were in the military, you may be able to use that to show why you would be prepared to go to medical school, depending on what your personal circumstances are. Just use your non-traditional background as a strength. There are plenty of people who will help you prepare for these admissions interviews. You just have to kind of search out people that will be able to help you. And tip number 4, which is the last tip that I wrote down, is to keep your post-med school options open. So there are a lot of different avenues that someone can go down post-med school, and definitely be open to a lot of different routes, because let's say you're 47 and you want to become a pediatric surgeon. Not saying that that's not possible, but it may be a longer road for you to do that than it is for you to do something else. I don't know. I'm not saying that you should not go for what it is that you want, but just be more open about, you know, possibilities and different options that are available to you. So anyways, that is it for my tips for today. I hope this was helpful to someone. If you guys would like more videos like this aimed at pre-med students, whatever the case may be, just let me know if there's something you'd like me to talk about. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions, anything like that, please leave them below and I will either address them in the comments or I will make a specific video to address them. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.